work with nestwatch.org, which is part of Cornell Lab of Ornithology, to record about the bluebird activity. So we have on campus, we have 4 bluebird boxes that kindergartners come and check every 3 days, and we are able to take out the nest cup and be able to observe what's inside. And this right here, we have our 2 bluebird eggs. We know that they're bluebird eggs because of the type of nest that is in the nest cup. You can see it's made out of a lot of pine straw and a little bit of grass. So that's a good indicator that is a bluebird nest, as well as the blue eggs inside of it. This is our Kokoraz rain gauge, and it is a citizen science project that allows us to submit data to the scientists, for the scientists to do a ground check on the amount of rainfall that the area is actually seeing versus what they're seeing on the radar systems and the satellites. So this is our rain gauge. We got it, it's a professional rain gauge, so we can pull it out. So every day, 2nd grade students, that is their citizen science project. We take out the rain gauge, we look at it, and then we input that data on the Kokoraz website, and then we just record the rain every single day, whether it's in there or not. And a 0 is just as important as a 1 inch, and the students know that. So these are our milkweed plants. Over the past few years since we opened, we have been planting milkweed, and right now they're looking really good. Milkweed is a very specific plant that the monarch butterflies will come to. This is the only type of plant that the monarchs will lay their eggs on. So we are a certified monarch way station with Monarch Watch, and we come out here with the students pretty much daily this time of year to check the status and look and see if we have any monarch eggs. Students get very excited when they're outside at recess and they see a monarch butterfly, and they come and tell me right away that there's been a monarch sighting, and that gets us all excited because that tells us there might be some eggs. So it looks like on our milkweed plants that we have a couple of potential eggs. This one in particular is a pretty, hoping that is a monarch caterpillar egg right there. And once I see that the monarchs have hatched out of their eggs and they get a little bit bigger, they'll be crunching and munching on the milkweed plants. The kids love seeing that. I will bring as many of them into our classroom, into the terrariums as possible, so to prevent the, I believe it's paper wasps to come in. They're one of the predators of monarch caterpillars, but also to let the kids see up close with the life cycle of the monarch caterpillar. So behind me is the closed North Wake landfill. This closed several years ago prior to Abbotts Creek opening, and when we heard that a new school was being built adjacent to the landfill, a lot of people weren't as excited as I was. When I realized that, I got very excited, because every single day, whether the students are coming in by bus or coming in by carpool, they have to look at the closed landfill, and some students actually have named it Mount Trashmore. And to me, that's kind of a touchstone as to why we developed our Green STEM environmental literacy program here at Abbotts Creek Elementary School, as well as it gives us an opportunity to really connect to why waste reduction is so important for us at our school, is so that we can reduce the number of closed landfills or landfills we have on our planet. So this landfill helped spark some ideas with 2 of our 5th grade students after they watched the Straws documentary here at Abbotts Creek last spring with their families. They thought of different ways that they could help right here in our school, and what they noticed was that our cafeteria had our packaged utensils, which also included a little tiny plastic straw, more like a coffee stirrer straw, and that really upset them because they realized we didn't need that. So that sparked their idea to do some additional research. They met with our principal, they met with our parent green team to brainstorm different ideas and get costs on how to reduce that one-time use plastic in our cafeterias.
It all started when somebody threw a fork and a straw at me, and I was like, what? And I was like, okay, this is not good. We're using the straws for inappropriate ways. And so I wrote a note to the principal saying, I don't like this, you need to stop them. And then like a month later, it went to Miss Brinchek, and we started researching, and I grabbed my friend here to help me to start researching how we can stop this problem from happening. And then we came up with a way to make sure everybody gets the utensils they need, but not getting them without, like, not using them.
We created a video when we first got the dispensers, and we didn't set them up yet. We set them up like the day after the video, and we created the video, and it was like we don't want you to hit the button like 1,000 times, like only hit it like once because it's a waste. And then for the first couple of days, like there was a lot of extras, and we would check up on it because we're the second to last lunch, and so we would check up on it, and we would give it to Miss Brinchek, and it got smaller and smaller. Like on the last day, it was like there was like 3 or 4, so it got a lot better.
It was